Evening, one and all. Welcome to Seeds of Wisdom Tuesday night, 9:30, 9:32. Want to be exact. Welcome, one and all. Hope you are all well. Hope you had a good week. I'm using the new software again. You probably see in the top. Where are we? Left or right? Anyway, in the top corner, Be Live TV. I'm not sponsored or affiliated in any way with Be Live TV. I came across it. It's in beta mode, so it's in test mode, so the software is free to use at the moment. So I'm enjoying it, I'm getting to grips with it, and hopefully next few days be able to do my first two-person Facebook Live. We're grappling with the technology, the guest and I. So anyway, there we go. So if you can hear me, if you can see me, please let me know. It's not as obvious at the moment whether there are people joining or not, so please let me know. I'd be really appreciated to know that I am not talking to myself, which I do. But anyway, so the message tonight is my money story. So yes, Mr. Merrick, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining. I hope you had a great time in America. Congratulations on the engagement with you and Rio. Prayers and blessings to you both, and hopefully we connect soon. I'll touch base with you soon. So my message last week was about your money story. Why was I sharing that? It's because over the next few weeks, I want to show you case studies of people who have started small and gone on to big things. As my mentor at the moment, Sarah Pointer-Rye, says, dream big, start small, act now. I love that saying. And sometimes we see people who have made it or big or further than where we are, and we think that's unattainable, that's unachievable. Thank you, Daniel, thank you. Unattainable, that's unachievable. I can't get anything like that. But a lot of these people started from the garage, from the basement, and they just took steps, consistent steps at a time. Some of us stop before we start. One of the reasons we stop before we start is because of our money story. And again, Sarah Pointer-Rye, when she was we had a discovery interview before I signed up to her mentorship program, and she used the phrase "your money story," and I've never heard of that, and I thought that's a fantastic way to put it. So some of you may have known the saying, "Money doesn't grow on trees," as if to imply there's a finite amount of money. There's not an unlimited amount of money. Other well-known sayings and all that, and often to our parents, their approach to money kind of frames our own story about money, and sometimes some of those can be self-limiting beliefs. So that's why I've chosen, before I kind of get going with highlighting, showing case studies of people who have really started small, may not have even had a big vision, but things have grown. I want to start because some of us, before we start, because I think the big factor is money, and our attitude to money, our relationship with money, our money story. So I shared a few pointers last week, but I want to share with Raquel saying money's not a problem. I think I know where you're going with that, Raquel. Thanks for joining. Can you share that? If you say money's not a problem, then what is a problem? I'd love to know. I'd love to interact with that. So money stops, or people's attitude or perception of money. And digress a little bit based on what Raquel says. Money is just, I've come to know and learn and realize, money is just exactly. Thank you, Raquel. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. It says in the Bible, it's not money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money, and you can replace the love of money with whatever. It could be a love of your mobile phone. It could be love of the TV, what you idolize, what you spend your time with. Money is just a resource, just like time is the resource. And towards the end of my message, I'll show you, I'll tell you how my own relationship, my own attitude to money has changed. So I like to get personal with you guys. I like to share my story, because I can talk a good game. I can talk all the theory in the world, but hopefully one of you tonight will be able to kind of learn from my money story and where it is right up to this moment in time, and where it's going to go. Right. So I'm only going to touch on significant aspects. So in terms of my background, my growing up, I was brought up by my mother, by herself. There was three of us at the time. Um, we got certain benefits, but my mum always had a hard work ethic, and again, she was very creative, and she found a profession, a job that suited her circumstances. So she, for a great deal of time, she was a childminder. So she couldn't go out to work because of having three children. So she brought the work home with her as such. So she had money as a childminder, and then later when she was older, she went to work in the NHS as a nurse. And kind of encapsulate what my money journey was like at the time. If you want to use a class system, I'm not really into the class system, upper lower class. I'll probably describe ourselves as upper lower class, if there's such a thing. What do I mean by that? So we had a TV. At one point, we had cable TV. Before Sky came out, there was something called cable TV. So we had that at one point. We had computers, and we had flip plate. As far as I know, we never struggled to have that. But there were certain things, gadgets, latest trainers that my friends has that I was able to have. So that's why I describe. So we lived in a council flat, which we rented out. So that's why in what was seen to be a rough part of London. So that's why I describe myself as upper low class. But the first key lesson I take, my mum never said in our mind that we were poor. We never had the poor, or never had an upper lower class mentality. She just got on with it. Fantastic credit to her. She just got on with it, but she never said, this is the way life will always be, or this is what you can expect to get out of life. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of things. I got pocket money, often tied to doing chores, which is fair enough, particularly about earning money. But that pocket money for me was never enough. It never seems to be enough. My friends, we had free school dinners because of the benefits we were on. But my friends were all going out at lunchtime. As soon as you got to year 9, you was allowed out at the school at lunchtime to go to the chip shop. So my friends will be going out of the chip shop. And obviously I wanted to be around my friends. I didn't appreciate having free school meals, but that meant staying in the school when my friends would go straight out. So I wanted to be with them while they got the chip baguette or chip roll or whatever it was, chip bap. So my money was never enough. I was into gadgets, big time, computers, big time. I wanted all the latest computers, and they were getting all the latest ones. So what do you do in that situation? So I was looking to earn money from a very young age, maybe about 8, 12, 13. I went into work for money. No paper rounds in my area. There was no kind of anything like that. So eventually I got a job delivering leaflets for an Indian restaurant. But up to that point, I couldn't get any work. So what did I do? I took a wrong path. I started stealing my money from my mother, £2 here and there, what have you. Not proud of that. It's something I've done. So I started doing that, and then I'd go out with my friends at lunchtime and get chips or what have you. As I got a bit older, talking about 15, 16, again, looking for ways to the leafleting job didn't work out. I was looking for ways to earn extra money, traditional ways like paper round, whatever, but also looking at non-traditional ways. Anything that was non-traditional, maybe we'll call it entrepreneurial, new way of doing things. I was always open to that. And I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember, but there used to be adverts in shop windows about stuffing envelopes, work from home, stuffing envelopes. You could be like earn a fortune. And basically it was a scam. I can't remember the exact details of it. It was a scam. I started registering for all these newsletters about how I could earn this money doing this or that. I was always chasing a way of making a good source of extra income without having to do much work. Although I was willing to work hard. Come when I was about 16, 17, I got a proper job. My first job was in McDonald's. Absolutely hated it. Me, the shy man, working in a place where you had to raise your voice to be heard, barking out orders. Absolutely hated it. Was sick one weekend, never went back. From there, I got other jobs. The next major milestone was I got involved just before I was 18 with a multi-level marketing. It was Amway to be exact. My barber at the time, it turned out to be my mentor, unofficial mentor. Got me. He saw I was hungry. I was hungry to earn money. and was open to unconventional ways of earning money. So he introduced me to Amway. And I first saw the plan and everything. My eyes just went ping. I thought, this is it. This is me. This is it. I always had in my mind to retire before I was 30. I never wanted to be, I mean, that model doesn't really exist now. There was still a model about, excuse me, having the same job until you're 65, getting the gold clock, the gold watch, and the pension. I never wanted that. I didn't know what I want. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know what I didn't want, and that was definitely something I didn't want. I also know I didn't want to have a conventional business where you go to your bank manager, get a loan. That was too much risk for me. I was very risk averse. So I'm always looking for something a bit unconventional, a bit on the wild side. It's not the way I want to put it, but that's the only thing I can think of. A little bit out there, something like that, which didn't involve much effort. So yeah, this multi-level marketing, I got involved with that. Really, really, really hard work. Shy person, having to engage people as customers and also to help build a team. I went out my comfort zone on many, many occasions. Ultimately, I was doing it for 2-3 years, didn't earn the money that I wanted to, but it was a great learning experience. And through that, that was my introduction into the world of personal development. My first personal development book I read was The Magic of Thinking Big, and it went on and on from there. So many valuable lessons learned from that. The next kind of milestone was, in between that time, my mum and I bought our council property because she wasn't earning any benefits for me because I was at college, whatever. I left college. So I was working and paying the mortgage. Kind of the next major milestone for me was in a relationship I got with, and I've talked about that in detail. If you want to know more about that, watch one of the previous videos on Facebook or on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. But basically what it is, I was basically supporting my girlfriend at the time financially and emotionally. And my salary that I was earning just simply wasn't enough for one person living in London. Transport costs whatever, barely 2 people. So that led me down a route of getting into debt and getting into quite serious amounts of debts. I'm talking thousands of pounds. And from someone who's never had been in debt before, detested being in debt, that was a big thing for me. And I was kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Was one of those kind of situations, scrapping around for money, her having to move from place to place, coming up with deposits. At one point I was working 3 jobs over 7 days for about 6 months. Burnt myself out. Body just gave up on me. So that's kind of where the money story, that's kind of the biggest part of my money story. That 2.5 years we were together was a real challenge financially. Start to default on my credit agreements. Never went to county court judgment, but there's still an impact if you default on your credit agreements. And what basically that means, you don't pay for like your mobile phone, your credit card bill for a sustained period of time. It ends up in your credit report. And I don't know if the rules have changed, but that can stay in your report for 6-7 years and does have a negative effect on your credit score and your credit report. So basically that happened, and I'm being very brief about that. Again, I did things I wasn't proud of in order to get through that situation. But then when that relationship came to an end, I was in a heap of debt and wanted to make attempts to start paying it back. I didn't know where it would turn. At that moment in time, there were a lot of newspaper adverts about debt management companies, ones who would help you to manage your creditors, the people who you owe money to, and get a monthly payment plan. These were commercial debt management companies who were basically, you would pay them, say, £100. They'll take their bit off, and then they distribute the rest to your people, the companies who you owe money to. So I decided to go with one of them. The thing is, with the banks and credit cards and what have you, they're under no obligation to accept the terms put to them by these companies. So the company I signed up with wasn't really having much joy in arranging. Basically what they wanted to do is, I was earning interest, or the company would charge me interest on debts. They wanted to freeze the interest and then enable me to just pay it back bit by bit, monthly installments. Majority of the companies didn't go for it. They weren't interested. I then happened to come across an advert in the newspaper. It was a feature section about being in debt. And there was a charity mentioned called CCCS, Consumer Credit Counselling Services. The newspaper article explained that this was a government-funded charity whose role was to help people get out of debt. I contacted them and they were literally a lifesaver. They helped me, they educated me to realize that as much as I owe these companies money, legally in this country, there's a certain amount of money that I need to live on. So there's a certain amount of money that I need to pay for food, to pay my bills. And no matter how much I owed these companies, I was entitled to that money to pay the bills, whatever. So they helped me come up with a budget to determine how much I needed to live, eat, drink, go to work, etc., etc. What I had left, and then come to an agreement with the creditors. Now, government charities like the Consumer Credit Counselling Service, they hold a lot more weight. They have a better relationship with the banks, the credit cards, whatever. They're more likely to have a plan accepted by these organisations than a private organisation. So all of my debts got, interest got frozen, and we arranged to have a monthly payment plan. And as I paid off debts, it will be reviewed to see if I could give more. If also my circumstances have changed, for example, if I got a pay rise or a new job, then again we would review it. And it was an absolute fantastic charity. They're no longer called the Consumer Credit Counselling Service. They're called Step Change. And more to the point, there's about 4 or 5 of these charities now operating, which is fantastic. So it was a hard slog for me, emotionally as well. There was a lot going on with my partner. I supported her, I said, emotionally and financially, and I was in a whole heap of debt. Still had to pay my mortgage off. Had to come clean with my mum about what the situation I was in. It was a tough time for me, but I got through it thanks to the help of a charity and being educated about what it is, what it means to be in debt in the UK. And we never looked at anything bankruptcy and anything, things like involuntary arrangements and company voluntary arrangements. Those weren't really around at the time. But it was a real education to me, and actually what it meant to be in debt, the impact it would have on my credit report. I'm glad to say I paid off all of those debts. My credit report is healthy now. But it was a good at least 6-7 years of even things like opening a bank account I wasn't able to do. It had to be the basic bank account. Forgive me if I go over my I usually like to give 15-20 minutes. There's no timer as such on this software. I need to figure out a way to keep track of time. So that was that, and like I say, I came through that, and there's more to that story. I'm not going to go on about that for now, the kind of major incidents of what I've shared with you. So what was my attitude to money just generally? I had an attitude towards money is that I never wanted to be rich. I didn't want to be stained or tainted by being rich, being arrogant and all the rest of it. Oh, thank you, Raquel. I'll share that because at the end of my message that become irrelevant. I'll just put it up for a little while. Just show that. Money Champion. Can you post a telephone number, Raquel, or a website for that? That'd be really much appreciated. And good on you for doing that as well. I never wanted to be rich. I just wanted to have just enough. I know I didn't want to work for someone now. I wanted to do my own thing, be my own boss. But I just wanted to have just enough. I've come to learn that is a limiting belief I had on myself. Now, my money story, my attitude is I want to be known as a kingdom builder. It's a Christian term that's used to mean someone who helps build the kingdom of God and makes an impact of this world for the kingdom of God. That involves having a certain amount of money, a certain amount of time. So now I want to earn a lot of money, not to keep for myself, but to help and bless others. Because like I said, money is just a resource. Time is a resource. The two are often linked. Another lesson I've learned is you do not have to work all the hours under the sun. Thanks, Rick. I'll just show that. You do not have to work all the hours. And I don't know if this is just a British thing or it's a European thing. You can't, in my experience in the workplace, you can't made to feel guilty if you don't work the hours as such. If you work less hours, you seem to be, oh, you're not working as hard. I shared with you last week about George Osborne and the value he's providing to, I think it's BlackRock, and now I think he's being paid £13,500 a day, and I think he's only working 48 days a year. Now, this company is not stupid. They wouldn't be paying him all that much money if they were not seeing that money back and more in profits. So I think a lot of us need to really think about the time be money relationship. And maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. The time be money. There's a famous book called The 4-Hour Work Week, and it talks about things like outsourcing work, all those kind of things. So I think a lot of us, that time be money relationship is a really key thing. We do not have to work all the hours under the sun. Maybe that was for another generation you had to do that. The more you work, the more you earn. When we have things like eBay and Amazon, where you can literally put a product, that shop is open 24/7. You can literally be making money while you were sleeping. Things have changed. Things have changed. Brilliant. Raquel just shared the website for organisation that she's involved with. I'm going to wrap this message up and I'm going to end it. I like to give you homework. So your homework for this week, and this homework is not going to be for everyone. Why do I like to give you homework? Because I don't just want you to sit here, listen to this and just think, oh, that was another great message, and then move on. I'd rather you not listen to me. I want you to take action. Take action straight away, just one step. Take that first step. So my homework for you tonight, and this is for anyone who is going through a similar experience to what I faced when I was in debt, or who's in a worse situation, and they really don't know which way to turn. There is help out there. Free help out there. Please, please, please do not be ashamed. You don't have to share this message if you're going through that situation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post some links to some companies who will help you. Raquel's already shared one. Thank you, Raquel, for sharing that. We're on the same page of one. If you want to touch base with Raquel and speak to her, then please do. I'm sure she won't mind you doing that. So I'm just going to post some. Hopefully this will work. There we go. Technology, I'm loving it. So this is the charity that I used. Oh, that's fantastic, Raquel. Raquel's charity is part of the church that she goes to. That's going to lead quite on nicely to one of the next charity actually I'm going to talk about. So Change used to be known as the Consumer Credit Counselling Services. There's the telephone number there. Make a note of it. Contact them. They'll help you budget. It was absolute lifesaver. I can't say anything more than that. They're absolutely fantastic. The people on the phone, so helpful, so helpful. So that's the first charity. The second one is called CAP. That stands for Christians Against Poverty. This is a Christian charity, but they don't just help Christians, they help anyone. And basically they do exactly the same as Step Change. They do a bit more actually now. They help people to find jobs. They help people with cooking on a budget. They've expanded to more. Really encouraged by their work. I was really keen to work for this charity after the experience I've been through. Unfortunately, at the moment, they're based in Bradford. I'm in Ipswich. I don't feel called to go to Bradford at the moment with my family, but they also do run courses in church, money courses. I did do a money course with the intention of running a money course in my church. CAP, Christians Against Poverty. Next one, National Deadline. No experience with them whatsoever myself, but I know they're a government-run financial management company. And then the last one, I'm sure most of you are aware of this company or organisation, Citizens Advice. Citizens Advice. Just Google for your local branch, pop in there. Again, they'll do a lot very similar to what the other organisations have done. So that's 4 I'll give you there. Raquel has thankfully added a 5th one through her church. There is plenty of help out there. If you know anyone who's going through a situation, maybe not yourself, but then please share this video, or at the very least, share the telephone numbers. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to suffer alone. We all need a helping hand. Get your pride out of the way and just seek the help. It's out there. They're not going to be judgmental. They do this day in and day out. This is what they do. Get professional help. And the majority of these companies, as far as I know, none of these companies charge for their work. You should not have to pay to get this kind of help. That's your homework if it's relevant to you. If it's not relevant to you, find someone or think about someone who's going through this situation and then share this message with them. Please do. It was tough for me without the help of Consumer Credit Services. I don't know if I'll still be paying the debt off now. It was a real lifesaver for me. And in this day and age, with the debt that we are accumulating as a nation, people need to know more about this. I just happened to come across this in the newspaper. It wasn't even one of the it wasn't like a Financial Times, it was like a tabloid newspaper. But so, yeah, Raquel is emphasizing you do not have to pay for this help. Do not have to pay. So that ended my message. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know if enjoyed is the right word. I hope you can be inspired, be comforted. I've kind of walked the walk in that, so I'm not just talking the talk. I've been through this. As people have gone through worse than me, but I've been through this. It had a major impact on my life. In terms of my money story now, having come through that challenge has changed. So I'm working towards working less, earning more, so I can spend more time blessing people in the things that I really want to do, and earning more so I can help others, bless others with money, because money is a resource that we need at this stage. Hope you enjoyed the message. I'll be back. Not sure when. There is some changes going to be taking place, so I will not be back on a Tuesday. I'm figuring things out now, and as soon as I figured it out, I'll share that with you. And any comments, Raquel, thank you for your input. Been much appreciated. Daniel, thank you for joining. Unfortunately, it doesn't show me everyone who's joined us. So for whoever who's joined and watching, thank you for the blessing. Hope you've enjoyed this message. The Shaman Smile is coming. For those of you who are interested, I do Facebook Live called Prayer Time on a Sunday evening. Technology permitting, hopefully we'll have my first guest on a 2-person live Facebook Live. We're still working on that. Any prayer requests, hit me up, Facebook Live, Facebook Messenger, text message. You can write to me if you want, phone me, whatever. Get your requests out there. No prayers too small. And also send your praise reports. I'm out. Take care. See you soon.